Transmitting on the Star Times platform 24 hours.
Àwọn onímọ̀ nípa ètò ẹ̀kọ́ lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà.
Hukumar tara kudaden haraji ta ƙasa.
Alanye na ọchịchị mba United Arab Emirates UAE.
The only channel that speaks your language.
Anyị ga-eweta akụkọ gbasara ọrịa ahụ nke wakporo obodo anyị.
Kálejì, mo kọ́kùnrin, mo kóbìnrin, mo kí ọmọdé, mo sì kí àgbàlagbà.
Mu yi kokari mu sauke nauyin alƙawarin da muka ɗauka.
Ẹ kú lẹ́yìn tèmi, ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò wa ètò yín ètò obìnrin tó dángájá.
Wa ya fi cancanta a ɗauka a matsayin ɗan aikin cikin gida.
Jama'a
masu kallon tashar NTA Hausa, barkamu da warhaka.
Kí ni ayẹyẹ ọdún iléyá tá máa ń ṣe lọ́dọọdún yìí rọ̀ mọ́?
NTA, you can't beat the rich.
Imagine a station where you access information. Think of a station that creates awareness for national development. Imagine a station that prepares you for a bright and greater future. A station for all ages. Documentaries, classroom and television, events coverage, children's programs and variety shows. Always stay tuned to NTA Knowledge on the Star Times platform, channel 359. For partnership, sponsorship and advert placements, contact us on NTA Knowledge. NTA Knowledge, learning to broaden horizon.
Information is power. Everyone wants power. So feel powerful with the NTA News mobile app, the one-stop information center. Real news at your fingertip. Be the first to report by uploading first-hand information on the U-Report link, and be the first to know by simply clicking on any of the links on the sidebar for headlines, domestic and foreign news, economy, security, politics, sports, and more. Stream live on your smartphone and tablets and stay connected. It's pretty easy. Simply download NTA News app from your Google Play Store and you're good to go.
Well, it was world class and per the standard. It was very good.
Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport reopens ahead of schedule after runway rehabilitation.
The President wanted an update on the Federal Integrated Staff Housing Program.
Head of the Civil Service of the Federation gets presidential directive on 2017 to 2019 strategy plan. And Nigerian workers pledge renewed vigor in partnership with the Buhari administration for improved service delivery. Welcome to NTA Network News for tonight. I am Muhammad Kuda Abubakar. They promised, they delivered on time. Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, officially reopens for flight operations this Tuesday ahead of Wednesday initially slated. Ethiopian Airline landed at about 12:15 p.m. Emmanuel Ayimiro reports that the 343 passenger aircraft arrived Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport with 265 passengers from Addis Ababa.
History
has been made today as Ethiopian Airlines is the first to touch down on the newly rehabilitated Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport runway. It is amazing to see the aircraft touching down 6 weeks after the closure of the airport. This act signals the commencement of operation at the airport. The Ethiopian airline took off from London to Addis and then Abuja airport. The pilot says it was a smooth landing.
Well, it was world class and per the standard. It was very good. We don't find anything that was out of ordinary. It was perfect.
In terms of friction with the tires, how was it?
Like I said, it was as normal as can be. It was very good. I would like to commend the Nigerian civil aviation. I think they did a great job. It was a very good runway.
Apart from the traditional Cannon Water celebration to receive the first aircraft to land, other celebrations took place in the aircraft with heads of aviation prestataires as part of the event to mark safe landing. As air operations fully took off, various departments of the airport have resumed as personnel are seen attending to new arrivals. A passenger spoke on the flight experience from Addis.
Actually, I was coming from London to Ethiopia and then onwards here. It was smooth. I thought we were going to land in Kaduna, but then I was amazed when I saw on the screen that we're coming to Abuja. I never thought I was going to come to Abuja, and I never thought that the airport would be open at this time. But it's a nice thing that it's open and that I'm here.
While Ethiopian Airlines recorded the first international flight to land on the runway, Minister of State Aviation Hadis Rika equally made history as the first to have landed with a local flight.
I just landed now on the same runway. The final exercise was this morning. The friction test was carried out and they found that it meets the international standard. April 19th was the due date for us to conclude and open the airport based on our program of work. And then that is not saying that we cannot open earlier. We were able to deliver the project earlier than anticipated, and then we can open it. There is nothing wrong with opening it a day earlier. And here we are today. We set out to achieve that target. We achieved the target. So the runway is safe, is good, is perfect.
Sales of air tickets and other activities have since resumed at the airport. Emmanuel Anyemiro, NTA News.
For close to 6 weeks now, Kaduna Airport has been operating both local and international flights following the closure of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport due to the need to effect repairs of its runway. Activity at the Kaduna Airport is still sustained in spite of reopening of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja.
Operations on 8th March 2017, and from then till yesterday has had passengers movement of 189,734, both arrival and departure on international and domestic flights. Aircraft movement totaled 3,274, both departure and arrival. Airport manager describes the whole operation as successful.
Even though we are closing, some people have come, they have seen what we are capable of doing. Some of them will not be staying back immediately, like Ethiopia. Ethiopia assured me that they'll be coming back within the next 1 month or 2 months.
Passengers commended the aviation industry while calling for continuity.
It's a blessing in disguise for Kaduna residents. My only challenge is how do we keep the traffic? Because lots of money have been invested.
It's a wake-up call for government. You don't allow yourself to be compromised as it is, by having very few options at any given time.
The federal government shut Abuja Airport to carry out major repairs on its runway. In Kaduna, Eugenia Ukwezi, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has commended the efforts of the Ministries of Transport, Power, Works and Housing, the security agencies, Kaduna State Government, the contractor Julius Berger and other stakeholders on the successful completion of the work on the runway and reopening of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, 24 hours ahead of the scheduled completion date. In a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, President Buhari said he looks forward to such display of interagency cooperation and efficiency in the operation of the entire federal government machinery. Meanwhile, the Buhari Media Support Group, BMSD, has described the completion of the rehabilitation work at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, within record time as a testimony to the fact that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari lives up to its promises. The group, in a statement in Abuja, said that by completing the rehabilitation works on its runway and reopening the airport, President Buhari has once again demonstrated good faith and commitment to the well-being of Nigerians. The group said that despite the fact that skeptics doubted the possibility of beating the 6-week deadline for the completion of the rehabilitation works, the federal government not only kept to the date, but also constructed one of the best runways in the world. Meanwhile, the Muslim Media Watch Group of Nigeria has commended President Buhari for the success achieved in the repair work, especially the completion of the runway within the time projected. While applauding the administration's efforts, the group, however, points out that the construction of the second runway of the airport should be given priority to avoid a repeat of the disruption that the airport and discoveries of looted funds in the last 1 month. The Muslim Media Watch Group commends the federal government on the whistleblower policy, noting that it has opened can of worms that appear to have been buried. The Muslim Media Watch Group, however, appealed to the federal government to make public persons behind the recovered funds. Security operatives say they are leaving nothing to chance in securing lives and property within the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport complex. This came to the fore during a safety check conducted by the military and the Nigeria police force before the inaugural flight after 6 weeks closure of the Abuja International Airport. Defense correspondent Isaac Nkuma reports.
As flight operations resume at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, the Nigerian Air Force, in collaboration with the Nigerian Army and Police, have carried out a security sweep around the airport.
A lot of things must have been left behind, whether intentionally or not, that we are not aware of. So the essence of the sweeping is to discover these things and ensure that the area, the whole airport, is actually sterilized.
You might not have known who must have been around when we are working. You know, a lot of different sort of workers available at the airport at different sites. So this is the best period before the operations of flights into the airport. We sweep every corner of the airport.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Air Force says all is set to commemorate its 53rd anniversary. Director of Operations, Nigerian Air Force Air Vice Marshal Adedayo Amao, said the successes recorded in the fight against insurgency and other security challenges in parts of the country, courtesy air support to troops within and outside Nigeria, is worth celebrating.
This year, Nigerian Air Force Day celebration offers us another opportunity to take stock in the light of our statutory responsibility as a military service. Given the active role played by the Nigerian Air Force in combating both real and perceived challenges facing our nation, it is no gainsaying that the priority of the Nigerian Air Force lies in the consolidation of the gains of the air power employment, especially at this crucial stage in the history of our nation.
Aside ceremonial and medical outreach activities lined up for the 3-day event, the ceremony will also witness the induction of 2 newly acquired Mi-35M combat helicopters to its operations in the Northeast. In Abuja, Isaac Nkuma, NTA News.
Away from airport activities and reports, President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the head of the Civil Service of the Federation to ensure that the 2017 to 2019 strategy plan is fully implemented towards improving efficiency, integrity, and welfare of civil servants. This was when he granted audience to the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Winifred Oyo-Ita, in continuation of his strategic engagement for good governance and effective service delivery. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that President Buhari also received the Minister of Interior, Abdurrahman Dambazaw.
The head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Winifred Oyoeta, was in the State House to update President Muhammadu Buhari on the situation in the Nigerian civil service as engine of growth and development of the country. The new service 3-year strategy plan, which the president described as a worthy initiative, dominated discussions at the meeting held behind closed doors. Mrs. Winifred Oyoeta told newsmen later that she has been given a marching order by the Nigerian leader to ensure that the Civil Service Development Plan is implemented to the latter, especially the Federal Integrated Staff Housing Program, FISH.
Mr. President wanted an update on the Federal Integrated Staff Housing Program, which, as you know, is a subset of Mr. President's national housing policy, which is so dear to his heart. So His Excellency is quite satisfied with our efforts. He would want to be kept abreast regularly on what were our processes so far to develop an efficient, productive, incorruptible and citizen-centered civil service.
Interior Minister Abdurrahman Dambazo, who also met President Muhammadu Buhari, gives update on the plan to effectively protect agricultural investments in Nigeria through the establishment of a security outfit called Agro Rangers.
Don't forget the fact that the government is making effort towards diversification so that we don't depend on oil. We have opportunities in the agricultural arena, which we must exploit and encourage people to do that. But if the environment is not secured, it becomes extremely difficult for people to invest their wealth and even go out to their farms and so on and so forth. So we intend to provide this outfit that would give security coverage.
He said efforts are also on to make effective the new immigration regulations by ensuring that all aliens and visitors to Nigeria whose stay will exceed 90 days are properly monitored.
We monitor what they do, where they are coming from, and where they are going. In that case, we enhance our security. So this is one aspect of it. And of course, there is the issue of ease of doing business, which the president signed an executive order some few months back. We want to make sure that maximum of 48 hours, somebody is able to travel here and get his visa on arrival without having any much problems.
The minister said various measures are now under consideration towards decongesting the nation's prisons, including plea bargain, parole, and suspended sentences for community service as alternative to imprisonment. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Nigerian workers say they are optimistic of a better Nigeria under the Buhari administration. Some of the workers spoke to Adebola Brooklyn Sunday as they resumed work after the Easter holidays.
Most of the workers resumed at stipulated 8 o'clock in the morning at the phase 1 of the Federal Secretariat to contribute their quota to national development.
The normal resumption day at duty every work day is 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. and we have no reason not to keep that time.
I really believe that God will do marvelous things, and I pray God should also empower our leaders so that they will be able to carry us along and then make this country a better place for us to stay.
Workers at all the offices visited were seen performing their duties irrespective of their levels. The head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Winifred Oyoeta, says she is on the same page with the workers.
Easter, that's the resurrection power. We believe that the service and Nigeria as a whole, under His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, is being resurrected to a new and higher level. All Nigerian workers, that they should continue doing their work, and that this government is very interested in good service delivery and also in the welfare of the workers.
The federal government had declared Friday 14 and Monday 17 as public holiday for the celebration of the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Adebola, Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
With the end of the Easter holidays and workers' resumption to work, correspondent Aliyu Tukurun monitored the traffic situation around the Federal Capital Territory and now reports.
During the Easter break,
the streets are almost empty, but with the end of the holidays, there is increased vehicular movement within the metropolis. Even with the increase of vehicles, the streets are devoid of traffic bottleneck as motorists adhere to traffic rules.
Well, it's very okay now. It's manageable. Maybe it's because of people travel, they not come back here. So, but the congestion is very okay now.
In the area of traffic, it's not every area of the city that are traffic jammed.
NTA crew also visited some motor parks to ascertain the level of returning passengers.
I know I have passenger from here to west, but from Yoruba land coming to Abuja, passenger very plenty.
It's after Easter, so those people that have left for Easter, they are coming back now to resume work.
With the holidays over, the city of Abuja is gradually returning to its usual hustle and bustle. In Abuja, Aliu Tukur, NTA News.
Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed says Nigeria will use the 59th high-level meeting of the United Nations World Tourism Organization Commission for Africa to fine-tune the country's culture and tourism master plan for sustainable economic growth. The minister stated these on arrival in Addis Ababa, the Ethiopian capital. Anthony Fosun reports.
The Information and Culture Minister, Lai Mohammed, who is heading the Nigerian delegation to the meeting, said having been relaunched back into the fold after several years of absence and the subsequent goodwill that followed, Nigeria is on the right path.
After the meeting in Abuja last year, Nigeria got itself invited to Madrid, which is the headquarters of the United Nations World Tourism Organization. And at that meeting, we met with the executive of the UNWTO, and it was a meeting, a session which was dedicated exclusively to hear Nigeria's challenges. And at the end of the meeting, the two parties arrived at conclusions and make recommendations. And we hosted them for about 5 days, in December last year. And during that meeting, the experts met with a cross-section of all the major stakeholders in the Nigerian tourism industry, both in public and private sector, at the end of which a report was sent to us, part of which we are already starting, implementing.
The 59th edition of the UNWTO CAF meeting will mark the end of the United Nations World Tourism Organization Secretary General's two-term reign, and a new Secretary General will assume office. Taleb Rufai is leaving office after serving for 8 years. Another special session the meeting will witness is the Chinese Outbound Tourism to Africa initiative.
From records, China a couple of years ago actually made some proposals to Africa, especially to Nigeria. We believe that they want to renew those proposals this year. The only idea is they want to facilitate the visit of Africans generally to China and the other way around. But until they make their presentation, we will not know exactly what direction, they intend to go.
Nigeria will also have the opportunity to address the session. In Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, Anthony Fosun, NTA News.
You can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device, at the Google Play Store, or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. Still to come, National Defense College takes fight against terrorism to tertiary institutions in Nigeria. We'll tell you more about it after these messages.
From what we have seen, we have the capacity which we can rapidly develop or feed in ourselves. If we don't import rice, we stop importing corn and other grains, Nigeria will have plenty of money to invest into developing industries, especially manufacturing, textiles and so on, and develop iron and steel, and complement the infrastructure development. So really, the opportunities are virtually limitless, and we are very, very aware of this, and we are prepared to exploit it to the fullest.
Let's pepper them.
So tell somebody to tell everybody to come join Maya, baby.
I did bring too much sauce. Glow Mega Music Tour.
It's gonna be a mad over you 10.
Yo, where you know we are showstoppers.
I'm your host for the biggest show ever.
If you miss the store, you're gonna miss everything. So join me, guys. Let's turn it up.
We'll be storming across Nigeria. I won't be anywhere else.
Everyone who is anyone is going to be there.
All Nigeria's A-list musicians.
One big stage.
Live and direct.
Glow Mega Music Tour all over Nigeria.
So watch out because we dey come.
Let's go!
It's the Glow Mega Music Tour with your favorite anchors and special guest stars. It's gonna be untamed. Text music and your preferred location to 207. Use 2,000 Naira Glow airtime in 1 month to stand in line for your free ticket. So what are you waiting for? The Glow Mega Music Tour. Glow Unlimited.
For the first time in the maritime sector of this great nation, Nigeria, 33 African countries, top global maritime administrators, and other stakeholders are all converging in Nigeria as the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, proudly hosts the 3rd edition of the Association of African Maritime Administration Conference, themed Sustainable Use of Africa's Oceans and Seas. Special guest of honor, His Excellency, President Muhammadu Buhari. Other notable guests include Secretary General, International Maritime Organization, His Excellency, Mr. Kitak Lim, Minister of Transportation of Nigeria, Right Honorable Rotimi Amechi, and other distinguished guests. Host, Director General NIMASA, Dr. Dakuku Adol Peterside. Date, April 19th to 21st, 2017, at the Transcorp Hilton Hotel, Abuja. For more information, please call 0803-301-7498. AMA 2017 is organized by NIMASA and IMO.
Can't believe she just rejected me and my camera.
She rejected my lights.
How can she not want makeup?
Maybe when the battery dies, she'll come back to us.
Nah, not with a 4,000 milliampere battery.
Experience the best selfies of your life. Gioni A1 Super Selfie Super Battery.
This is to inform all participants and stakeholders that the proposed defense retreat on civil-military relations by the Ministry of Defense, scheduled for 20th to 21st April 2017 in Jos, has been postponed. A new date shall be communicated in due course. All inconveniences are highly regretted. Please, Hassan Abdullahi, for Permanent Secretary, Announcer.
In Nigeria, there is one sound we need to silence. So let's silence toothache before it starts with Oral-B all-round protection. Its advanced technology helps prevent both tooth holes and gum problems that can lead to tooth loss. It strengthens your teeth, giving them all-round protection. Because the only sound we really want to hear is that of our future. For healthier, stronger teeth in 1 week.
From the south-south to the northeast, southeast to the northwest, southwest to the north-central, the Future Assured project and its components, Get Involved, is restoring hope to millions of Nigerian women and children.
We are actually doing a lot under Future Assured, the program of Her Excellency Mrs. Aisha Muhammadu Buhari. And I believe what we are doing so far is impacting positively on the lives of women and children in Nigeria, particularly those in the internally displaced camps across the nation.
Get Involved supports the Future Assured initiative. Email programs@futureassured.org.ng. Future Assured, promoting and protecting the lives of Nigerian women and children.
You are watching NTA Network News, coming to you live from our Abuja studios. In its quest to safeguard national security, the National Defense College, Abuja, is partnering the National Commission for Colleges of Education to stem violent extremism, kidnapping, and terrorism in tertiary institutions. A seminar by both bodies has suggested policy recommendations for the safety of campuses that could be recruitment grounds. Defense correspondent Isaac Nkuma reports.
Violent extremism, kidnapping and terrorism, experts at the seminar say must be nipped in the bud by proactive and sustainable intelligence gathering of happenings in tertiary institutions across the country. Also, identifying and checking the motive behind senseless attacks by extremists is a case study in the whole process.
There are reported cases of ISIS recruitment on campuses in Turkey, Pakistan, Malaysia, and other countries in Southeast Asia, as young people are brainwashed and deceived by religious fanatics to take up arms as a way of performing the will of God.
The effects of the insurgency and other vices that led to the establishment of internally displaced camps has brought bitter experiences that make it necessary to further orient our youth and disabuse their minds from enlisting into such vices in future.
It is expected that recommendations from the seminar will stimulate a policy response by government and also help university authorities to develop preventive and reactive approaches in curbing the threats. In Abuja, Isaac Nkuma, NTA News.
Troops of the 3rd Battalion, 22nd Brigade, Nigerian Army on Operation Lafia Dole, assisted by 10 civilian JTF, based on information received, embarked on an offensive on suspected location of Boko Haram terrorists at Jarawa General Area, Kalabalagi Local Government Area of Borno State. Director, Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Sani Kukasheka Usman, in a statement, disclosed that while advancing, the troops came under heavy fire at Jarawa village and responded decisively, clearing terrorists from Deima, Artano, Saduguma, Duve, Bardo, Kala, Bok, Mishede, and Ahirde settlements. During the operation, the troops neutralized 21 Boko Haram terrorists and rescued 1,623 residents of Jarawa who were held captive by the terrorists. The troops also recovered 3 AK-47 rifles, 36 hand grenades, 12 cutlasses, and 4 motorcycles. The rescued persons have been escorted to the internally displaced persons camp in Ran, while all the children were vaccinated. Deploying its experience in battle, resilience, and bravery, the unit did not record any casualty. The Borno State government and relevant government agencies have continued to work in synergy to ensure safe return of refugees and internally displaced persons, IDPs, from Cameroon. Maimuna Garba reports on the recent returnees from Cameroon.
Town of Bama local government area to receive the returnees from Cameroon Republic, where Borno State Commissioner of Reconstruction, Rehabilitation and Resettlement, Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, Controller Immigration and representative of the Federal Commissioner, National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons. According to Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, the visit was to assess the situation and take note of the needs of the returnees and see what could be done to make them comfortable in collaboration with other relevant agencies and organizations, adding that any request made beyond them will be forwarded to Governor Kashim Shettima. He appreciated the military for efforts in safeguarding the lives and property of the people. The acting commanding officer, Major Adebayo, who enumerated the achievement of 152 Battalion, as well as challenges, thanked Borno State government for its support and concern to the plight of the returnees, and requested that the town be surrounded with trenches to checkmate any attack by insurgents. Professor Babagana Umar Zulum assured returnees of shelter, water, and other basic amenities, adding that additional boreholes will also be provided in collaboration with Ministry of Water Resources and clear the surroundings to enable the returnees move to their homes with the support of the military. Immigration officials said the returnees will be screened and registered in accordance with the law. The delegation then inspected Banki Hospital and other facilities in the area. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
Nation building, protection for the armed forces, and pragmatic approaches have been restated as strategies that can be evolved to counter insurgency and terrorism in Nigeria. These were the submissions of various speakers at the maiden edition of the international seminar initiated by the Global Amnesty Watch in Abuja.
The conference tagged counter-insurgency, human rights and good governance in context of the Nigerian situation, analyzed activities of insurgents and terrorists, as well as efforts by Nigerian security forces to curb them while adhering to human rights.
The Nigerian Army invited Amnesty International to partner with it, and we open our doors and books for them to see based on the previous allegations.
When such complaints are received, high-powered investigation is usually launched to ascertain the true position of the complaints.
They also highlighted the role of non-state actors in conflict management.
One of the most overlooked aspects of countering violent extremism, terrorism, is terror funding. No one is clamping down on them. You cut off the money, these guys are going to be very unhappy.
All you need to worry about is, are you following Nigerian law? Are you following humane standards? Are you following rule of law and rules of engagement? And if you are, then you don't really have to explain yourself to anyone.
Now, I'm appealing to our political leadership again. Let us enjoy what we are, who we are. Those of us in the security industry, we know our value.
They implored Nigerians to always be on the defensive and stick by the policies if in line with the rule of law.
Time now to join Demola Adeoye in our Lagos Network Center for more stories on NTA Network News. Demola, over to you.
Thank you, Kudu. Good evening and a warm welcome to Lagos. Breakthrough in diagnosis of various health challenges is premised on effective and sustainable research methodologies. This was the submission of guest lecturer, Professor Folashade Ogunshola, at a one-day symposium on research administration and mentorship organized by the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research in Lagos. Lil Lenike reports.
The guest lecturer, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academics and Research, University of Lagos, Professor Folashade Ogunshola, said the place of research in tackling outbreak of various epidemics cannot be overemphasized. She stressed that research allows medical practitioners to identify the root causes and come up with possible solutions, which sometimes could help generate relevant vaccines and antidotes when necessary.
It is important that the country itself determines its own what are the old problems, so that researchers work to that solution, to get a solution for things that will have maximal impact.
Medical experts at the forum suggested the need for a national policy on research with a view to enhancing the nation's capacity and readiness to combat outbreak of epidemics in any part of the country.
It's smart for the Nigerian government, the National Assembly, to come together and start allocating funds to health sector, to vaccine prevention, and to improve the health of our children and women.
Medical research can come up with innovative ideas, drug development to improve treatment, methods, preventions, and all of these may lead to longevity within our country.
Guests at the events were drawn from the academia and the medical profession. In Lagos, Lynn Lenake, NTA News.
The effective and constant control of content on the social media to ascertain its authenticity has been identified as part of measures that can be relevant to revive a recessed economy and checkmate insecurity in the country. This was the submission of stakeholders at the launch of an online media in Lagos. Abolade Salami was there and now reports.
Statistics reveals that 1 in every 5 of the world's population shopped online in the last 30 days. 50% of this population use internet, while 37% of the population are active internet users. The social media stakeholders say has helped in business retention and expansion, investment promotion and information dissemination to targeted audiences. They added that the social media has improved e-commerce business as 1.6 billion people, numbering 22%, purchased online.
Well, it provides, like I said, a ready platform
for businesses, for government itself to use in showing the positive things about their brands, about the country, even state governments, about the state.
Because most of the time, all the news are already online. And I think it's one of the best things to have happened to the world, not generally Nigeria. And most probably everything that happens in the world is on social media.
While applauding the gallantry effort of the Nigerian Armed Forces to successfully reclaim Sambisa Forest from the Boko Haram sect, they stressed that the social media played a significant role in information dissemination.
Security, for instance, when an issue arises about security, when the information gets to people quickly on time, then the security agency will be able to combat the issue.
They ever suggested that relevant stakeholders should do the needful in the verification and authentication of some stories on the social media. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. We now take a break for some messages, after which the news continues from Abuja. Stay with us.
I've waited so long for this game. There's a problem with this car. What's happening? No. Guys, let's go. Do this thing now. We are not missing the match. You like going? Hello, hey. What? Nice. When I try. Oh. Hold on, guys. Glow can actually borrow me data. So let's get back to watching it. I told you.
Borrow me data from Glow. Dial *321#, even if your account balance is 0.
The largest data network, Glow, grandmasters of data.
This must be one of Mother Nature's greatest gifts. But there's something else it gives us. When we see such beauty, we want to share it with those we love. That's what LG wants you to see. Just what we see now, through our technology. LG OLED TV.
Hey, now who they here? My name now Mr. Shortcut. I dey mind my money. Now cheap one, I dey buy. Stand up, we side. Now to buy cheap one. Hey, now one kind cable for my yard. A cheap building material where we take build my office. I think say I dey save money. Office building collapse and fire burn my house.
You don't see what happened to Mr. Shortcut? Well, Standards Organization of Nigeria, SON, don't ready for action and say enough of pain, loss and wastage. And if you see product where no dey correct, call the SON office when near you or SON help desk. Standards Organization of Nigeria, improving life through standards.
Goodness of real orange pulp in every gulp.
Where's the pulp?
5 Alive Pulpy Orange, now in your neighborhood.
Welcome back to NTA Network News. Nigeria's foreign exchange market is gradually being stabilized with additional $280 million from the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN. Here's Vivian Idekpefo with details on business news.
Hello and welcome to Business News segments. We kick off with government determination towards fulfilling the ease of doing business in Nigeria. Of
of its commitment to sustain liquidity in Nigeria's foreign exchange market, the Central Bank of Nigeria has injected additional $280 million to various segments of the market. The Apex Bank on Tuesday also announced the opening of bids offering $100 million wholesale of 7 to 45 days forwards through the deposit money banks. Spokesman of the bank, Isaac Okorafor, in a statement disclosed that small and medium enterprises received $100 million through its special window. Meanwhile, the Naira exchanged for between 395 and 406 Naira to the dollar on the BDC segment of the market, contrary to CBN directive that it should be exchanged at not more than 362 Naira to the dollar. Meanwhile, Nigerians have continued to commend the federal government's initiative to intervene in the foreign exchange market, thereby strengthening the Naira against other currencies.
What is going on is laudable, and I hope that Nigerians will give the central bank a chance and conform to doing things the right way.
Let's now take a look at the pictorial summary of Tuesday's trading figures on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. On that note, we conclude business news at this hour. Now to the rest of the bulletin.
The Nigerian Medical Association, NMA, has developed a 5-year strategic plan that will enable the association reposition itself and advocate for improved health system that delivers the desired health outcome for Nigerians. Health correspondent Rabi Abdallah was at the public presentation of the draft document to partners and other key players in the health sector.
Lack of country ownership, which is depicted in the overdependence on donor agencies for the funding of diseases, as well as the inability of the Nigerian health system to perform efficiently and effectively in the face of high disease burden and poor health indices, are some of the challenges the Nigerian health sector is faced with. As the umbrella body of the medical and dental profession in the country, with 37,000 registered members, under the theme, From Words to Action, NMA, walking the talk with partners, came up with a plan that spans through 2017 to 2022, which is through open to partners and other key players for inputs at the public presentation.
To address these challenges, we need renewed commitment and shared vision.
Of immediate concern to NMA is improving the healthcare delivery at the primary healthcare level.
So for look at it, diagnostic, do a diagnostic, critique it. If it is okay, let's jointly work towards developing the activity plans. This is just a strategic plan. As partners who want to see changes and result in the healthcare.
The plan has 6 thematic areas, which include strengthening the NMA, operationalization of the National Health Act, as well as intra and inter-professional relationship. In Abuja, Rabi Abdallah, NTA News.
The guests on Good Morning Nigeria have stressed the need for implementation of a national drug policy in the country to ensure that only quality drugs are manufactured for consumption. The guest stated this while discussing quality of locally manufactured drugs in Nigeria. Timothy Yusuf monitored the program and now reports.
Findings reveal that a couple of years ago, 3 Nigerian hospitals reported cases of adverse reactions from the use of contaminated infusions produced by 4 Nigerian companies. This is one of the instances of the adverse effects of fake and substandard drugs manufactured in the country. Dr. Kawu Ahijo Abdulkadri of the Spine Center in Gwagwalada says he has lost confidence in Nigeria's locally manufactured drugs.
After surgery, when you paralyze your patient, you want to reverse the patient.
after surgery. We've had a lot of experience where drugs we use, we couldn't reverse the
National Chairman Association of Community Pharmacists of Nigeria, Dr. Albert Alkali, and Ima Agba of Divine Essentials Formulations, however, differ with the position of Dr. Kawu.
We have good local manufacturers that are producing good quality pharmaceuticals in this country.
When we talk about products that are manufactured locally, I think I will give Nigerian pharmaceutical manufacturer 80%, not even 70%.
Genuine Nigerian manufacturers manufacture quality medicines. And I can say this one confidently from the surveys we've done so far.
The Guests were, however, unanimous in their call for an intervention funds to the entire pharmaceutical value chain. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Director General, Voice of Nigeria, Mr. Osita Okechukwu, has described the Buhari administration's continuation of projects as started by the previous administration as the best for the upliftment of the nation. Mr. Okechukwu stated this at the official handover of flood control project at Obinagu in Udi local government area of Enugu State to the state government. James Okpara-Okocha has the report.
Under the Ecological Fund in the Ministry of Environment, the project is one out of the 15 of such projects approved for the Southeast. It involves the construction of a 19-kilometer of rural roads and construction of a catch pit to collect the flood water from the erosion-prone Obinago community. Director of Erosion Flood Control in the Ministry of Environment, under the Ecological Fund, said the project was government's effort to alleviate the problems of the Southeast.
The event is of great importance in the sense that it is a landmark achievement by the Ecological Fund Office for commissioning this project and at the same time handing it over to the benefiting community.
The Director General, Voice of Nigeria, said the inheritance of the project and its completion leading to its handover to Enugu State government is an indication of the philosophy of the current federal government administration of carrying all Nigerians along.
So if you guard the project as it is, you have done the greatest to yourself, you've done the greatest to your community, you've done the greatest to the local government, to the state and to the Nigerian state.
Obinago Town Union President Dr. Callistus Ene said his community was lucky to be among the few communities selected. The project was handed over to the Enugu State government, which the Commissioner for Water Resources, Chief Charles Igungwe, received on behalf of the state. From Enugu, James Opare-Kocha, NTA News.
More than 20 cultural troops from Nigeria, other African countries, and the United States of America are expected to participate in the 2017 African Drum Festival, holding in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, later this week. Secretary to the Government of Ogun State, Chairman Local Organizing Committee Taiwo Adeoluwa, announced this at a press conference and unveiling of the festival logo. Lekon Agbonde has the report.
The 2017 Ogun State Organized African Drums Festival, according to the Chairman, Local Organizing Committee, Mr. Taiwo Adeoluwa, would be an improved edition in terms of content, participation, and quality compared to the fourth edition held in 2016. Mr. Adeoluwa, who spoke with nostalgia in reminiscence of the maiden edition of the festival, noted that Ogun State government was taking the lead in the quest to take Africa to the zenith through promotion of culture. He noted that more troops from across Africa have indicated their interest to be part of the cultural festival of drums, adding that the state was committed to sustaining and regenerating the festival.
Display of rich African culture through drums was unprecedented, just as the discovery of hidden talent restored Nigeria's frontline position as custodian of arts and culture.
While unveiling the logo, the state deputy governor, who represented the governor of Ogun State, Ibikula Amosun, said the government and people of the state are proud to showcase the enviable heritage, culture, and hospitality through the festival to further enhance the unity of not only Nigeria, but Africa and the world.
In Ogun State, we are proud to showcase the display of different drums, dances, and performances from different parts of Africa as an integral part of our rich cultural heritage that must be preserved.
The Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, Muyiwa Oladipo, noted that the maiden edition of the festival, tagged Nigerian Drums Festival, metamorphosed into African Drums Festival, because of its impact in the culture and tourism world. First edition of the festival witnessed display of various kinds in types and shapes, drums from various parts of the country, and entertainment. In Abuja, Lekon Agbonde, NTA News.
Up ahead, global tidbits, some sports news, and weather prospects for Wednesday. Don't go away.
Where is the pulp? The pulp. Where is the pulp? Where is the pulp?
Taste the goodness of real orange pulp in every gulp.
Where is the pulp?
5 Alive Pulpy Orange, now in your neighborhood.
I can't believe she just rejected me and my camera.
She rejected my lights.
How can she not want makeup?
Maybe when the battery dies, she'll come back to us.
Nah, not with a 4,000 milliampere battery.
Experience the best selfies of your life. Gioni A1 Super Selfie Super Battery.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, is working to ensure access to safe, good quality essential medicines with the World Health Organization pre-qualification of made in Nigeria pharmaceutical products, stiffer penalties for fake drug offenders with a review of NAFDAC laws, national, regional, and international collaborations, cutting-edge technologies, including the mobile authentication service.
NAFDAC impacts upon everything we do, including water we drink, the food we eat. They are important organs to the development of this country. And everybody should come out and join them and support them and help them to achieve the greatest benefits and success that they need to record.
Let us support NAFDAC to win the war against fake drugs and other unwholesome regulated products. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
In the international scene, Zimbabwe holds its 37th independence anniversary rally, and the United Kingdom's Prime Minister Theresa May announces plans to call a snap general election on the 8th of June. Listen more on Global Tidbits with Chimdima Ndubisi.
At Zimbabwe's 37th independence anniversary, the president, Robert Mugabe, promised that his administration will continue to pursue socio-economic programs that will consolidate on the country's developmental gains since independence. He therefore called on the citizens to defend their independence. In Turkey, the main opposition has made a move to annul the referendum handing President Tayyip Erdogan sweeping powers. The country's Bar Association, alongside an international monitor, alleged that the Electoral Authority's allowance of unstamped ballots in the referendum may have swung the vote. However, President Erdogan said Sunday's vote ended debates on the sought-after powerful presidency, shunning criticisms from European Union observers. In another development, the United States Vice President Mike Pence, who flew into Tokyo from South Korea, has reassured the leaders that the U.S. stands with them in curtailing North Korea's nuclear and missile ambitions. That's Global Tidbits. Chimdema Ndubisi, NTA News.